he's so undeniably sure of himself, it's ridiculous. Smiling, and I felt like a little kid again reading this book. What are teenagers thinking about when they're dating? You know, it's not rocket science. I can tell you it's giving 5-star. This is probably like the latest wrap up that has ever been filmed when the next month has started. So my reading month in November, this current month, has been like not good at all. However, my reading month in October was pretty great, so I need to share with you the books that I read. One of them I need to return to the library today, so I'm filming this right now. You know, two birds type of thing. A few of these titles you will have seen in previous videos. I'm a slow reader, and when it comes to annotating, I really try my best to take in every single word on the page, so it takes me a while. So because of that, there are a couple on here which you have already seen, but you know what? It's fine. We're allowed to talk about books whenever we want to. There's no rules on BookTube. So we're going to get started. I've been slowly working my way through Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. I'm on page 50 exactly, so I still have a very long way to go. I can tell you straight away that when you pick up an Ursula K. Le Guin book, you'll never experience reading the same way ever again, because her way of writing is so immense. It's incredible, and I've really learned a lot from her writing. I'm hoping over the next couple months I can really dedicate like a lot of time to finishing this book, as well as another book that I have started to annotate. I don't like to annotate loads all at once, but I have two currently on the go that I really want to finish and just enjoy the experience. But so far, this is really great. The main character, Jed, is seriously infuriating me, and I'm pretty sure it's on purpose, but he is just so unbelievably arrogant for his history. And I don't know if that's just me that feels that way, but this guy literally comes from nothing, and yet he thinks he's like, I don't know, the Prince of England, you know what I mean? He's so undeniably sure of himself, it's ridiculous. But we are getting to a point now where Jed is going to start learning that when it comes to magic, things aren't simple and you have a lot to learn. So I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of this. It's 4 books in one, so The Wizard of Earthsea, The Tombs of Atuan, The Furthest Shore, and Tihanu, I think that's called. So this is going to be probably reoccurring. I think I'm going to do like a dedicated video to finishing this, because I think that's like one of the only ways I'll be able to actually do that, is not having like so many books in one bookish vlog, but rather just focusing on one and the annotations, because I know you guys like love my annotations. So that will be coming soon, and so far I'm loving it. The next book, again, you have seen in many academic bookish vlogs. This one, I love this book so much. I usually like wouldn't really rate a autobiography, but because it's not written by Alan Turing, I can tell you that the rating I would give this is 5 stars. Andrew Hodges goes into so much depth over how Alan went about his studies, and like each single step as to how he got to, well, just every single part of his life was documented so well. And Andrew Hodges really did his research when it comes to Alan and what his behaviour was like, what notes he had in his bedroom. He was so thorough, and I think he has done an amazing job, and because of that I do just want to keep reading this book like it's a story. And it's incredible to think that someone went through as much as he did. Again, here's a little shot of my annotations, so I am going to really put some time into this next month. Oh yeah, that was one thing I wanted to say really quickly before we move on to the rest of the books. Next month for December, my only reading plans are these 2 books. That's it, because I really want to finish at least one of them. I love the experience of annotating and underlining because it really throws me into the story like it's real, and I love that, but it takes a long time. However, it is worth it because the experience lasts a long time and it's so great. So I am going to be just focusing on 2 books in December, and so I'm not going to do like a December TBR, just because, yeah, my reading has been kind of, well, it's been like pretty poor this month because I've been through a lot personally, as you will have seen in a previous video. So I'm just keeping things easy, keeping reading enjoyable and not a competition to see how many books you can read a month, because it's not about that. And I'm just going to focus on these, and I can't wait because tabbing books is absolutely one of my favourite things to do, but writing is only just like overtaken by that. I love writing, so that's that. Moving on, I read Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. This book definitely made me realise that when it comes to romance novels, I am more of the type of reader that enjoys reading the experience of the falling in love, not the physical aspect of a relationship, but rather the small meaningful things, because as you know, this book is quite physical, and there was a decent amount that I skipped in this because I was like, oh come on, but at the same time I can't criticize it because it's like, hello, they're teenagers. What are teenagers thinking about when they're dating? You know, it's not rocket science. So I should have probably thought of that going into this book, but I have learned a lot, again, from Chloe Walsh and her writing style. I don't know if I'm going to hold on to the rest of the books. I may end up selling them on my eBay page, and I think that's linked in my YouTube description. So if you, I might be putting them up for sale, possibly these. But I did enjoy the book. It was a really quick read. Binding 13 was a 5-star for me because it does focus on the aspect of Johnny and Shannon falling for each other, and I really loved that book. This one was just like not really my cup of tea, but it's still a good book, and I still understand why people return to Chloe Walsh as a writer. So it was good. It was 3 stars, so not terrible, not amazing, a decent time. Then I read No Man's Island by Susan Salis. This is probably a book that you have never heard of before, and that's because occasionally what I like to do is I like to buy a bundle of secondhand books on eBay, titles that no one's heard before, because it really opens my perspective as a reader and a writer to read books that no one's talking about. It helps you to learn about the different writing styles that were before us, and I really enjoyed this book. It's like a mystery, character-driven plot, and it was really interesting. It's about this woman who gets news that her husband has died. She's in like her 40s, 50s as far as I know, and her husband has left her an island where she used to go to with her husband. It was like a holiday retreat for them, and it's been left to her because she's got news that her husband has died. So she decides to go to the island, try and make it her own, and along the way she discovers some interesting things. So it was overall pretty good. Like, I did really like it. It was 3 stars. It took me like a little longer to get through this, but that's not because of the book, it was more because of how I was, but it was still really great, so feel free to check this out. Now on my notes, I've rated this book a 5 stars. I really enjoyed this, and every time I got back into this story, I found myself smiling and I felt like a little kid again reading this book. It was so nice. Also, Nikki Thornton has 2 other books. I think this is the 3rd one in the series, and I didn't know that when I picked it up, but I will buy the other books from Nikki Thornton because I did really enjoy this. It was just so easy to go through, and yeah, the Cutthroat Cafe, by the way, Cutthroat Cafe, and the main character we are following is Seth, and he has a talking cat called Nightshade. They arrive in the magical town of Gramsci to gain an apprenticeship, but he soon discovers that the existing apprentices are under attack at the town's scrumdiddlyumptious cafe, which is far more deadly than delightful. Seth's got his hands full as usual. Can he discover who's murdering the apprentices and stop them before they strike again? It was just great. Like, yeah, it was fantastic. I loved it. It was really fun. Now we have the first graphic novel that I read, Username Evie by Joe Sugg, and I didn't know Joe Sugg is actually a YouTuber, so how awesome is that I just picked this up from the library. This was brilliant. Like, it was really good. For my first graphic novel, I would say it was like top notch. I loved the story. I wanted to keep turning the pages, and it was just such a unique plot for what it is. Just go and check this out because this is absolutely worth it if you really like graphic novels. I'll just read the blurb to you. Like anyone who feels they don't fit in, Evie dreams of a place of safety. When times are tough, all she wants is a chance to escape from reality and be herself. But unknown to Evie, her beloved father has been working tirelessly to create a virtual ideal just for her, and life as she knows it is about to be altered forever. Could this be the perfect world Evie has longed for, or does the hardest journey still lie ahead? It was brilliant. I really loved this book. Yeah, I just thought it was fantastic, and I may even buy myself a copy of this to reread it because I want to pick it up again. It was really good. Even though this is like my first graphic novel, I'm rating it like 5 stars for the experience. It was brilliant. And now we have a book that I have started. I can't necessarily give it a rating just yet, but I can tell you it's giving 5-star. The Secret History. I got to a rather serious part last night before I went to bed, and my dreams it was reflected in my dreams. Let's just say that. But I have no regrets. Like, this book is brilliant, and Donna Tartt's writing will always be a favorite of mine. As some of you know, I have read The Goldfinch, and I really enjoyed that book. She really has a way of opening your mind as a reader with her writing style, and I just love it so much, and I want to buy her other books. I'm always checking the internet to see if she has another book coming out because I so desperately it's crazy that it takes her so long to write each book, but as a writer myself, I can understand why it's the case, because when a universe that you've created means so much to you, you can get the first book right, you know, because your first book is more of the kind of, you're trying out being a writer, you know, you're basically going, right, let's go for it, what do I have to lose? And so usually, like, your first book is pretty good, in my opinion. That's what I've seen in the market. But then as a writer's career starts, there's that pressure to continue publishing a book every year. But that pressure then is reflected in the writer's work. So I think it's really good that she does take her time, because basically every book of hers, as far as I know, has been like top notch. And that's because she doesn't put pressure on herself. The work means more to her than people's opinions, and that's something that I really strive to do as a writer in my own work. and that again is probably why like my first book is taking long for me to get out there. I want everything to be perfect. I want like my marketing strategy to go well, and yeah, so long story short, loving it, and I can't wait to finish it. So that was what I read in October. Very late monthly wrap up, as you know, but it's fine. There's no rules to these things. We can do whatever we want. So there won't be a wrap up for November or like a TBR, but I'm going to focus on the 2 books that I've shown you, so you know my plans, and I am feeling like I have a bit more positivity and motivation these days with things changing in my life, hopefully for the better as things move forward. So overall, I think the next few months are going to be looking pretty good, and I am excited to see what they bring. Thank you so much for watching this. If this is the first video that you have ever clicked on of me, like if this is the first time you are seeing my face, please subscribe, because I would love to see you again. And I think you would really enjoy my bookish vlogs. They are something that is so enjoyable for me to film, and I know that a lot of you really find like my annotating satisfying, and again, like it's something that I absolutely love and I do take pride in it. I also share little bits of my writing journey, so yeah, if all of that sounds good to you, please subscribe. Don't forget to like this video and comment what you read this month, or comment how your day has been, or comment the name of your pet dog. I don't mind. Just, I would love to hear from you. And yeah, that's it. I love you millions, and I'll see you soon. Bye!